Hey guys, welcome back. Episode 2, Season 2, the TC Athletic Podcast. My name is Michael Leone, I'm the Assistant Athletic Director. This episode we are doing football. I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves.
I'm Charlotte, I'm the co-host.
I'm Andrew Cern, and I play O-line.
I'm Cade Davis, I'm a senior, and I play D-line.
Alright, so I thought we'd start with a fun question. Current NFL player that you could have had on your team in August for the season, who would it have been? One player. And he could play both ways. It's up to you. One player. Me and X last year, X, if you're ever watching this, he picked Chris Jones, and me and him got in a huge debate over that. Because Chris Jones can't play both ways.
On our current team?
The team we just had.
Okay.
From August till November, what NFL player could you take? Do you know any? Don't say Travis Kelce.
You want to go first, Cade?
I hate those.
Oh, she
I
hates
think
that.
I'm picking a quarterback, though.
Who you picking, though?
I'm going... I got to go Patrick Mahomes. Straight
I
up.
was gonna say him.
I got to go Patrick Mahomes for one reason. I mean, he could do both. I mean...
This is high school. We're not in the professional league.
Oh, yeah.
Because
High school.
The
100%.
receivers catch.
No.
Oh, no.
We don't even got to throw it.
No, but I think I got faith in the wide receivers we have like on our team currently this year. Like I feel like they could catch the ball. Patrick Mahomes is throwing it.
Okay.
I'll probably go with D lineman too.
What's with the D lineman? I was picking that D
But no, that's a good pick.
Just because like you would need like 3 O linemen to block, like 3 high school O linemen, so like that opens everybody else up, and then like the quarterback gonna have no time to throw the ball and they can't run it. So I'd probably say like, you could say like Myles Garrett, I guess, or like T.J. Watt, someone like that.
I like that.
Charlotte.
I don't know players, but I would say an O-lineman.
You know what?
I was thinking about that.
I was thinking about
First
that.
of all, if I'm picking a quarterback, I'm picking Josh Allen. Because he can run and throw.
I mean,
I was gonna say Lamar to start off.
if you're gonna say that, who's better between Josh?
But who
Allen
I'm actually picking is I'm picking Tyreek Hill. Because Tyreek Hill, you can put him at the safety spot and running back. No one's tackling him.
I can see that.
Okay, I can
They
see
agree.
that.
Last year's group never agreed with me.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I mean, but who's throwing? But be real, like who's
You don't
throwing
have to
the
throw
ball?
out the ball. Just
You could
give
just
him a
pitch it to
toss.
him like a toss. You would put him
Yeah,
at
I would
running back.
run it right, and then I'd run it left. And I would
Okay.
just do that with Tyreek Hill.
Low key, Derrick Henry. Just give
No,
him-
who's tackling Derrick Henry? That's the
He
question.
could play. He could
Saquon
play linebacker,
Barkley.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you could
do
you could mess around and throw a D lineman at running back. Let him run.
Probably.
Shoot.
You could put. Did you see on the Lions the last game they put that left tackle Sewell?
Yeah,
They gave him the ball for some reason,
Yeah.
and he literally destroyed like 3 straight defenders.
Yeah.
I was like, why are they giving him the ball? Because he's so valuable. But like
Yeah.
even him on running back would have been
Oh yeah,
crazy.
100%.
Okay. I still think I'm right. I want guys going 2 ways. All right, more serious. So we're going to go all the way back from January till now. Let's keep it PG, but what was your thought process in January? Was you guys were going into your senior year of losing a head football coach? And what was your thought process? So I wrote questions like, what was it like when you first found out, the unknown period, and then deciding to stay at Tampa Catholic? I don't need like everything, but like what was your original, like, 'cause I know for me, for you guys, it was a lot. So what was that like for, if any high school athletes listening, when you lose your coach and you're going to be a senior, what is that like? And then the unknown, and then what made you guys end up staying at Tampa Catholic?
Well, I say at first when I first found out, like, I was kind of surprised, but like, I kind of felt like we would be fine because I thought like one of our coaches that we have now, like maybe Coach Will, when we had him, like would have taken over and we would have been fine. And then I found out like we may get a whole new coaching staff, and then a lot of guys started leaving. So like, obviously, like you said, we was uncertain. Didn't really know what we wanted to do. Some seniors left, but I feel like we decided to stay just because like it was a lot of, even though we had uncertainty with staying here, there was a lot of uncertainty with leaving too. Like you would have had to restart all over again, like because I transferred in here, so would have had to go through all that again, and then maybe you're leaving to not even be as good as a team. Like you could not have won that many games. So it was just about, I stayed because I feel like we still had a chance. I feel like we would have been okay, and I feel like we were. But yeah, it was just uncertainty and leaving too, so that's why I decided to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, nah. I think the unknown part was a little scary. I mean, like I transferred here because of Coach J-Mac. Because Coach J-Mac, we talked all the time. And, when he first showed me the school around, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is a good school. And he invited me, and he felt like family when I first came. And so when I found out he was leaving, I was like, dang, like, where am I going to go? Like, the uncertainty of not knowing where you're going, like, when somebody leaves is just like, oh. And so, and then we had that meeting, and we are like, why can't y'all just make Coach Wood a coach? And I know
meeting didn't go well.
Yeah, and I know that meeting was tough for you, and I felt bad. I was like, dang, I know he's trying to survive.
What I was trying to do, survive's the right word. What I was trying to do was like, I'm not the ultimate decision maker here.
Right.
I'm the one who you're gonna see. Give me a few days.
Right.
And I was like, I think I literally said that. I was like, guys, give me a few days. Like, I'm actually, you know what's crazy? I'm sweating right now. Just thinking about it. I take my sweatshirt off. I remember being in front of that meeting in front of you guys, and I was like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I can't promise you everything, but I can promise you that we're going to hire a great person.
Oh, yeah.
Because what I don't think everyone in that room realized was how big of a coaching position Tampa Catholic was.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, you're not going to turn to the camera, but there's all of our D1 players up here on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we might not be like American Heritage, but we are a powerhouse like football team. So I was like, I know we're going to get someone. I know we're going to go through the interview process. Just give me a week.
Right.
And then, a week was stressful.
Oh, yeah.
That was stressful.
Yeah. It was crazy. Like, and so, everybody was considering leaving. A lot of kids were like, nah, I'm leaving. I'm out. And so you saw people transferring out, like, and I was like, dang, everybody leaving. And so I was scared my senior year because, like, you want to make that season, like, your best season. Senior year, when it comes, it's like, man, like, that's the last season, your last hurrah. And so I wanted to win as many games as possible. And so, I was scared. I was like, where am I going to go? And even if I did leave, I wouldn't know where to go either because I can't go back to the other schools I used to. I went to Sun Lake, so, that's not historically good. So,
where did guys end up going? I don't want to name names, but they went to like a lot like to Gaither,
Tech. Oh, yeah.
Armwood.
Yeah.
They went everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was, like, spread out.
Well, in case you're brand new to Tampa Catholic football, in January we lost a total of 19 players. Right. And that doesn't include the 23 seniors that graduated.
That was the thing, is that so many good seniors left too. So I think that was the scare.
Well, people always are like, I'm like 19 people left, and they're like, yeah, TJ and Trey, and I'm like, no, like they graduated. I'm talking about people who left,
transferred,
and they're like, oh, I didn't even realize that. And then, and then I mean, this just happened. This isn't even a question, but I was in a meeting with Mr. Lees, who's the principal of our school, and he was like, I want to thank them for staying. And I was like, I think that's a good idea. And it's like, the best we can do is pizza, but low key, we were like, we literally got all the seniors in a room and it was the dean, the principal, the AD, me.
Pizza was good.
Anyway, it was just like, the most we can do is pizza, but thank you.
Yeah.
Because that's how much it was.
Yeah. Well, kind of going off of that, what is the transfer portal like in high school football for Florida? And what advice would you give to younger generations about transferring in high school sports?
I'll say it's getting more common now. You'll see a lot of people go to 3-4 different high schools. I'll say I understand because I transferred too, so I can't say a whole lot about it. But I just say that when you pick in a high school, don't just go there for one reason, you like the coach, like we did, or
sorry,
no, it's good. Like that, because a lot of people will go they feel like they'll get playing time early, and then they don't end up getting playing time, so then they leave. So it's just go to a school that you like. They win, they can get you to the next level, and that's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Piggyback on what he said, it's the transfer portal. It's become more common now. Everybody sees opportunities, especially for people who have played and they played in college, not college, but they played in high school, and they feel like they're confident enough. Oh, I'm gonna start on this team, and I feel like it's you got to be patient. You got to know where you want to go, and it's not just about the sport. It's about the academics around it. How's the school like? Is it a good atmosphere? Is it a good environment? And I feel like a lot of kids don't take that into consideration, and so they make that mistake of transferring to a different school, or and then they don't play, or they just don't feel like it's home for them. and they end up transferring again. So that I feel like that builds up to being like transferring from different schools to different schools. So
You know what I found interesting in January, because I really was new to, I understood transferring, but I didn't understand the importance of like, I'll just go into the question. So I didn't really, so like I'd go up to a kid and I'd be like, why are you leaving? Blah, blah, blah. And a lot of the kids were like, well, my mom or dad want me to leave. And it really wasn't even as much them wanting to leave because, and I'm not going to name the kids, but they were like, well, my dad says I'm going. My mom says that it's the best for me. Like, I didn't realize that parents were so quick to switch, where I would thought, and the genuine, I was blindsided by this, where I was like, the parents not going to care as much about football. The parents going to care about the education
correct.
Yeah.
of the school, because let's just say there are certain schools with better education, stereotypically. I'm not saying Tampa Catholic is, but I was like, well, why would they go to that school? Why would the parent be trying to switch them more than the kids trying to switch them?
Yeah.
Like, is that, like, for the three of you, because you're all student athletes,
Yeah.
is that something like where parents are almost like, no, we're leaving here? Does that happen? Or, because that, maybe not with you guys, because you guys like didn't.
I mean, now when J-Mac left, my parents didn't really like say nothing too much. They just said wait it out, see what happens. Even when I left my previous school, they didn't really say nothing. Like one day after the season, I was just like, I think I want to go to Tampa Catholic, and they were like, okay, like let's make it happen. Like they weren't really too much into that, but yeah, my parents really, I can't speak for other kids, but my parents was never really involved in that.
Yeah, I'd say my parent, because my mom's a teacher, so
That's
you know, yeah, so like when your mom's a teacher, it's like they want you to go to a high prestigious
Yeah.
school where you can learn. And so when J Mac left, my mom was like, oh, I was telling my mom, like, and it's crazy, I was telling her, and I regret saying, I was like, Mom, but like everybody's leaving, I need to go too. Like, I'm not gonna be the only one here staying and nobody's here. And she was like, no, like this is a great school. Like you're learning,
That's what I thought more
Yeah.
parents
They would
would do.
Nope.
I was
Yeah.
I was ignorant. I was like, wait, what? Everyone's like leaving because like, and I just didn't know. I was ignorant to it.
Yeah, no. Some parents I feel like take charge in that area. It depends. It really depends on your parents or who they are. My dad, he was really iffy. Like he just wanted me to play football. My dad was just a footballer.
Yeah.
He wanted me to play football. So, but he was saying too, like the education's important. That's what my mom said. So I wasn't leaving regardless. I just,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't have any hope. So I had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, my parents when I was touring schools, they definitely had their preferences on like where they thought I should go, but like in general, it was just like where I want to go for school and for sports, not just like one or the other.
Did you ever think about transferring to volleyball?
I had
We did our podcast last week. So.
I had coaches like reach out to me about it, or like reach out to like my club coach or like my college coach, but like I was never like I came to TC for like the school and volleyball, and, like not just for volleyball. Like there were schools I went to that were like I almost went just because of volleyball, but like I didn't love the school and like the people there as much.
Okay.
Are you, any of you guys playing in college, and like what have you learned about recruiting at the next level that was surprising to you getting started?
Well, I'll speak for both of us when we say we're both thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure out where to go. Something I learned about the process, I say it's a lot more deep than it seems, because you'll see a lot of people get offers, like you'll see offers get thrown around, but like there's a lot that goes into like an actual offer. Like they gotta watch your film, they gotta ask about you, they gotta see you in person, all that. So like a lot of times when you see people get offers, like it's really just interest, but like when you see an actual offer, like know that a lot goes into it, and like it's not everybody can get an offer. Like it's
Yeah.
harder than it seems.
Yeah, no, that's actually good, because I say like when it comes to like going to college and getting offered, I feel like everybody's like, oh, if it's not D1, it's nothing. I could tell, like I could be honest and say this, like that's not true. There's D2, D3, NAIA, and it's like competition. There's competition.
Yeah.
There's guys who could play. And people think like, oh, if it's not D1, there's nothing left. No, like there's a lot left. And I feel like kids will shut down their options like of going anywhere because it's D3. What's the point in going? I mean, it comes down to the aspect like, do you really love the sport enough to play a level down?
Yeah.
And so that's why my recruiting is going slow, because like right now, like I'm looking for a college, but I'm not the bigger size. I'm not a big dude. Like I'm not 6'5", 6'6". And so I'm short. I'm like short for my length or whatever. So
How tall are you?
I think I'm like 6 foot.
He's taller than me. Gage just laughed. You mean he's not 6 feet tall?
What, you think I'm not 6 feet tall?
Nah, he's
I
about
think
6
he's
feet.
definitely 6 foot tall.
I think I'm 6 foot. I think I'm 6 foot. I think I'm
Yeah.
6 foot.
No, you definitely are.
Yeah, but you know, I'm a smaller guy, and to be honest, there's people in the college level offensive line. Oh my gosh, they're huge.
Yeah.
When you think about like last year, like Eddie, like
Yeah.
everybody wants. Hey, when you see Eddie, you're like, oh my gosh, like you don't realize how.
He's probably an undersized.
And he's undersized. That's crazy.
That's what I was
Yeah.
like. If you guys know Eddie,
No.
he's an undersized
Yeah.
player
Yeah.
at that level. Like the NFL.
It's crazy.
Oh, there. So the camera won't see it, but that's Chaz Green.
Yeah.
That's who I played with in high
yeah.
school. That's a 6'8" man.
Wow.
Like.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
No,
crazy.
they're freaks of nature.
No, it's crazy at the D1 level how big people are. And so, you know, I advise like whoever's like, if you're trying to play football and you love the sport, like don't be shy to go D2, D3. Like
Yeah.
that's not nothing's wrong with it. You know.
So something I wrote here because I wanted to, like, I don't want this podcast to be a comparison of the coaches. So I actually wrote, this is something the old coaching staff was great at, was helping Tampa Catholic kids get college offers.
Yeah.
How important is a high school coach in that process, and has Gregory been helpful in that way?
I mean, yeah, he's done a lot for us, honestly. Like, I met with him the other day, and he was telling me that, like, he's been pushing for me to get recruited since, like, the spring and, like, March. And, like, for me, obviously, the same thing with him, my height. Like, every time he talks to, like, a higher coach, like D1, FCS, they all say, like, they like your film, they like everything about you, but, like, you're 2 or 3 inches too short. So, yeah, he's been important in it. Honestly, without him, I don't think I'd have no offers. But, yeah, he's done a lot. Our last coaching staff was good at it. They got a lot of guys to college. But, yeah, I think, and that's important, too, because that's what draws a lot of, like, younger kids into a high school. Like, if they see that a lot of people from that school getting offers, they're going to want to go there, too, and that's going to keep it going. But, yeah, the coaching staff play a lot of role in that.
Oh yeah. I had met with Coach Gregory too, and we talked about a lot of great things. He was pushing for me in college too, and I wouldn't be where I'm at without him either. I mean, like just coming from like a coach standpoint, like I feel like TC has like they always had that exposure. You know, like when you come here, like I would see. I mean, the helicopter when he flew on the field, like that was ridiculous, and I've never seen that. You know.
A lot of Nick Saban landed on a helicopter on our football
That
field.
was so cool.
And
That was so cool.
Other coaches saw that and started doing that. So
Right.
then Kirby Smart did it.
Right.
And then it was crazy because then like we had to start saying to these coaches like stop because we have a grass field and the field is getting like you guys already know our field.
Yeah.
Center, turf's coming. Knock on wood. Yeah, we were like stop because the helicopters kept like destroying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, but just the recruiting standpoint, like I think he's been pushing for a lot of us, especially our seniors. Like we all want to play, want to play like at the next level. Like it's all been stressed, and he's told us like if you don't want to play, it's okay. And he makes sure like we're recruited, like, and that's what I love about Coach Gregory. Like he cares about the players, like he wants everybody to go to the next level if they want to, and he's gonna push for it. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
So So we're out of January. We're out of recruiting questions for now, I think. Describe a Tampa, because you guys were here for spring. Describe a Tampa Catholic offseason. Now it's kind of messed up because Gregory showed up kind of late. So January, you start your offseason in January. Mm-hmm. But describe an offseason, summers, and then your conditioning program. Because I know you had Nelson, but I don't think the football really utilized him as much as they did this past offseason. Mm-hmm. So like what, if you're an 8th grader, you're a transfer, or just an average you're just a person listening, what is an offseason for a high school football athlete? So spring, summers, conditioning, like what is that all about?
Well, spring is usually more about learning the football stuff necessarily because you obviously have the spring game, so you got to learn everything like quick before the spring. Then when the spring game is over, we get into the summer. That's more like the conditioning, obviously. This year was more organized, I'd say, focused around actual football stuff. Before we didn't really have like Coach Nelson, like you said, it was kind of just like start running really. Like, but, yeah, we started more organized. Obviously, he has the workout plans for us, speed training and then conditioning. But yeah, it was a lot more organized, I'd say. And then eventually we get into fall camp. which is like really when the pads start going. You start getting physical. We start getting ready for the actual season, and then those 3-4 weeks of fall camp is probably usually like the hardest time because you're getting used to that like real hot July heat, and then you got the pads on and you're hitting and you're doing a bunch of running, and then like late August once the season actually starts, then like all that goes away. Like you're still hitting obviously in practice, but it's more focused on the game, and then obviously every week is individual from there on. It's on you just focusing on winning on Friday.
Yeah, no, I'd say around the same lines. Yeah, spring's more of a develop your skills, see where everybody's supposed to be placed, or see where you want to play if you don't know where you want to play. And then the spring game is to see where the team's at. I feel like for most, just to see where the team stands.
I was happy with the spring game.
Me too.
Like I knew we lost, but I was like, we look
We should have won.
competent.
Yeah.
I was like, we look like a real football team.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like
It's not.
it was the summer.
Right.
It'll be fine.
Right. And Coach Gray came with a great game plan for that game. But then towards the summer is when it gets bad. Like we running, gassers. you talking about up downs, all that, and you put all that together. And I think this summer was way more organized. I remember last couple of seasons ago when I first transferred. Oh my, we would just run around the field like it was terrible. Indian runs. Oh my gosh, I was dying. And so that was the worst. That was definitely the worst time for me, 100%. Because I wasn't when I first got here, I wasn't conditioned. And so
would you say it might have been less organized, but was it harder summers with Jers?
That's a good question. I think it was harder. I think they were the same. I think it was the same like level of intensity because that one was just more organized. It was just organized, but it was still bad, So it was more organized. But then during the summer it was just running, conditioning, and more like focusing on your skills and your craft. And then once you hit that fall camp, oh yeah, it's over. Like all the plans you had during the summer, no more vacations. It's like you have to be there for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Okay. And I remember when starting fall camp, we were here from what? It was like 8 to 2, 8 to 3, and it was long days. It was like a whole school day.
Yeah.
And so it was long days, but it created like a good bond between all of us. Like we used to sit in Champions Hall, just eat lunch and watch video, YouTube on the screen. It was fun. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And so fall camp was really fun for all of us. And but it was hard. We had to know all the plays. And Coach Greg's playbook's deep. Like it's deep. Like you have to know.
He said he was just scratching the surface of that.
There it is. Like
it's just. Our producer looked up, but he told me. I was like, how much into your playbook are you? And he was like, I think he told me like 15-20%.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's insane. And like if you looked at our game plans like during the season, like the script was like long. He had everything planned out like from the jump. He's a Georgia Tech. I know. Yeah. And he
use their playbook? Or
I don't know if he uses their playbook. I think he uses a lot of their same philosophies.
Okay. Scheme wise.
Like I know you're still a Georgia Tech fan. You're saying the Georgia game this last weekend.
Yeah. One thing I can say about him, he's very precise in what he does. Like it's like everything's planned out to every minute.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's crazy to look like how he coaches and like how he like.
By the way, this is one of my questions, so we can just jump right into it. How would you describe Coach Gregory?
Oh yeah,
you're already doing it.
Yeah,
but I'm just gonna delete this message, this question right
now. Yeah, no. I mean, when I first came here, I was like shell shocked. I mean, if meetings are at 3:30, you come anywhere late, get out. It's crazy. It's like everything.
No, that's not crazy.
It's not crazy, but it's different because I've never had experienced that in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. It should be run like a college. Like that's how it should be to get you ready for college. So like it was just surprising to me. And so everything's planned out. Everything's planned out. And sometimes if it doesn't go according to plan, he has another way. He has a plan B, plan C, plan D, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. He's perfect. Like he's perfect at everything he does. And so it's just weird. He plans it out. It's just weird. He actually just weird. It weirds me out because I don't know how he does that. I just don't know how. But I don't know. You have anything to say?
Yeah, I'll describe him as very organized. The school I went to before here, it was a lot more organized, kind of like he is. So like when I came here, and then we had our previous coach, it was like I was kind of weirded out because I'm like, we starting everything late. Like we all at practice, we waiting on him to get here to start the practice. So it's like instead of him waiting on us, but yeah, a lot more organized, a lot more efficient. He's definitely a leader. He can motivate us like he did in the locker room before the games. Yeah, he's just like he said, he is an all around like good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys described like your preseason, in season, and postseason, like all the work you put in. Is that what makes a team good and competitive? And like how much role does like a coaching staff play in pushing the team to the next level?
Yeah, I say preseason is a lot of what makes a team good because during the season you're not really learning a whole lot. Like you're not necessarily improving. Like you kind of just using what you have to win the game. A coaching staff does play a lot in it because obviously we have like a lot of guys. We go outside like during the summer we go to like outside trainers to improve our game, but
Which drives Nelson crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he gets
my
so mad
gosh.
about
He's
it.
so mad. Our strength coach gets upset
I gotta fight with him.
because he's not against. Let me phrase that. He's not against that.
Yeah.
He just wants it to be communicated
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
if you're going to do, who was big on that? Like David was big on that.
Mhm.
David would do like, let's say, an hour of whatever he's doing with this person on the side, and then he would do Nelson's plan. And our strength coaches would just communicate with that to me so that we can adjust
Yeah.
instead of you doing double loads and then your hamstrings hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry, I mean, sorry.
Nah. Cause like I know the outside person I went to, like he would ask me what we did at school, and then like he would build something around that. So like it was kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
But yeah, the coaching staff, cause like obviously you get taught certain things from trainers, but obviously every coach has like a way that they want you to do something. So it's important to know that because even though like if you have a certain way of doing something, they can tell you something that is better and like will be better for the team. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think all the stuff that you do in the summer is really going to relate to the season that comes. I think you do pick up different pieces during the season, you know, because you learn different things. You play against another person. Like I think in the summer, like fall camp wise, like we played against each other, and so we didn't know like how the other teams looked or how it would feel playing another person. But once we put those pads on, we played a different team. It was different. Now you can see like where you match up with other people, and you improve. You prove that way when you first competition. Like our schedule was.
That's a
Great.
That's a question.
That's a question. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that.
question.
But you know, like that was just a part of it. Like our competition wise, like we always would go at it with other teams. Like, and that's what it's about, you know. And I think the coaching staff plays a big role in like the team and how like our team success is, because like if the coaching staff is sloppy, then we're sloppy, you know. And so it's just building a culture around that. And I feel like I think that's why coaching staff is very important, you know,
Well,
and
what
teach you
is
different
that?
things.
Is it the Lions that has the new coach that has made them really good?
Well,
Or,
he's 3 years in, but yeah.
but he like changed.
He changed a
program?
lot. I love Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
He made a speech. He was gonna bite kneecaps off and do all
That's all.
So besides Coach Gregory, which coach at TC would you say is your favorite?
I'll probably say Coach Cam.
Yeah, I was.
Our
Yep.
defensive
Hit on the
coordinator.
nail.
He's probably the only laid back coach on our coaching staff. You'll never really see him yelling unless you do like
He's a
something
defensive
super
coordinator?
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like I like him because like
Coach Kyle's not laid back.
anything but that.
Anything but that, coach.
But yeah, Coach Cam, like football wise, like he's really good at listening to like the players and what they see on the field, and then making changes around
That's
that.
true.
Cause like I'll tell him like, yo, like they leaving this gap open or like whatever. So he'll be able to make something around that. But yeah, I'll say Coach Cam.
Yeah, Coach Cam, 100%. Like he just gives me the uncle vibes. You know, like you can just talk to him. You know, if something goes wrong, you can just talk to Coach Cam. Coach Cam's he's a great guy just in general. I love talking to him. And like sometimes it doesn't have to be about football. We can just be talking about life, and he's just like. I was considering like this is off topic, but I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to homecoming this year. Like I don't feel like it. Like it's my senior year. I'm probably not gonna go. He was like, man, like you gotta live life. Like like this is your last year for real. You should go. And like it actually influenced me to go. So yeah, just like having those type of coaches like you could just talk to on like a daily basis is just great. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Coach Cam, 100%.
Would you? So this is kind of like just a pivot from what we were just talking about.
This year we have like a lot of guys where like everybody knows something about each other, and like it's one big circle instead of just like a bunch of like little cliques, you know.
Yeah, I feel like our locker room last year, everybody had the little groups. Like everybody would talk to the little groups. Like you'd have like all the commits talking to each other, all the people who really didn't play, all the people who just were chill. But I think we're all split up. But I think this year, like what he said, like we're all close. Like everybody knows each other, and we're all like a family. I feels like so. I mean, just everybody in the locker room knows each other. I feel like everybody knows like something.
Is it more laid back? Is it more stress? Is it more like? I think each senior class has such a different, like, what does the senior class bring? What is the vibe of the senior class?
I'll say last year's senior class was a lot more laid back. Like, not that they didn't lead, but it wasn't like a lot of vocal leaders. This year, I feel like our team was led by the vocal seniors. But yeah, in the locker room, honestly, it's really just anybody could be vocal, anybody could lead. Like, you don't got to be a senior. But yeah, there was a lot more people standing up and saying something rather than just laying back.
Yeah, like it didn't matter if you were a senior or not. Like there would be sophomores speaking up freshmen. So I mean, it was like that. Like and that's what you need. Like I feel like it shouldn't be one specific group saying something. Like everybody should be able to talk and be vocal and be a leader. Like
she was captain her sophomore year.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it should be, right? I mean, anybody who can have those like leadership capabilities should lead.
There's a girls soccer was going through some stuff earlier in the year that's not important. But basically there was a sophomore, Mia Sanchez. I don't know if you guys know her. Doesn't matter. Basically, I was like, I need you to step up right now. She's like, I'm only a sophomore. And I'm like, I don't care that you're only a sophomore. Like, let's go.
Yep. No, he challenges us to always be a leader, never be a follower. So.
Is Lucas a leader?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He's a quarterback. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He leads the team. 100%.
And what you were saying about the girls' soccer, that's how it was last year. Because I forget what coach it was, but he talked to me and Michael Dempsey. He was like, y'all two got to step up, even though y'all are juniors. Like, the seniors aren't leading how do we need them to. Like, y'all need to start leading. So, yeah.
I think the seniors, I don't want to talk for them. I think when they beat Jesuit and then they got their offers, they were kind of like...
Checked out?
I could see
I don't want to say checked out because they might yell at me. But no one will watch
They're
this.
not watching this.
They're not watching this. I think they're just more like, we did what we came here to do at Tampa Catholic.
Yeah.
Which was beating Jesuit, which was a big
Yeah.
deal. And then I got my offer and it was like, you know...
There's no real, like, reward left.
That's pretty much all I needed to do.
I wonder if it's like the difference in coaching stuff again, since this new coach is more like discipline and stuff. If it was because of that all the players started talking more, and like last year's coach didn't push.
I want to
them
compare last year's coach. I did
I
like
don't know.
I like last year's coaching staff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think beating that Jesuit was such a big deal to them that it was because it was just like more of a. But anyway, I don't want to talk about last year's group. Let's go into what we were just about. You brought up earlier. So this is partially my fault. I would say this is a fact. We had the 6th hardest schedule in the state of Florida for football, and that goes across what people don't understand. I'm talking about across classifications. So I'm not talking about for 3. What are we? 2A or 3A?
2.
So I'm not talking about 2A or 2A suburban or 2A rural. I'm talking about all of them. We had the 6th hardest schedule. Were you guys, and I can go into why that happened, but were you guys mad at that? Excited about that? Were you like, what was the thought process in the locker room? Because every week was a monster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Except maybe like, I don't want to insult Trinity Catholic, but like maybe besides Trinity Catholic, everything was a monster.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't really see it as like a downside. Because even Trinity Catholic last year, like they went
to the state championship.
Yeah, even though they kind of fell off. But when I seen the schedule, like I wasn't really like mad about it or anything. Like there wasn't a game on there that I felt like we couldn't win. Like I felt like we had a chance in every game, and we honestly did. Like the first 2 losses we had, we really just like beat ourselves. So, like I mean, we got down early and then just gave up.
What was the first loss?
Well, not counting the preseason game, it was Bishop Verot.
Bishop Verot.
Yeah. Bishop Verot. I won't say what I think. What do you guys think? Like,
that game was I feel like by the time it got like 14-0, like everybody was checked out, including me.
Yeah, including me too. I remember that game. That game was a really gritty game, and I feel like we all were expecting just being totally plain. We all were expecting. I feel like everybody was expecting. Oh, this is a great team. Like we lost already, and everybody checked out what he said. Like everybody checked out. People checked out before the game even started.
That's honesty.
And that's
I didn't even honestly. I didn't even feel that way. Like
Yeah.
even when it was 14-0, like I still felt like
there was a chance.
yeah, but like
Yep.
it was like man, like what can we do? But like yeah, and a lot of guys like you said ended up checking out. That Monday when we got back was honestly worst practice I've had in my life.
That practice.
bad.
So on Monday after that game, oh my gosh, all we did was hit. So everybody went full pads. It was hot, and everybody had full pads on.
Was that a punishment?
Yeah, I'd say.
I think we needed it, but it also was a punishment. We did.
Yeah.
There was nothing else involved but hitting. Everything was hitting each other. Competitive guy, like he likes to like. I feel like he likes to compete. Like, and when he like sees we're not competing well, or we don't have enough like effort, that's when he that's when he gets mad. Like, anything else, like if we gave effort and we lost, okay, cool. And like I feel like effort came when the Jesuit game we lost by 10. Mm-hmm. Not a bad loss. The Calvary game should have won. Should have won Calvary.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what else game was close that we should have won.
I didn't see this game, but Angie doesn't count. It's preseason. Mitchell, how was Mitchell?
Mitchell, we should have won. I think we should have won that game.
It was
me personally.
I think it was 14-10 at halftime.
Right,
And
we were winning.
They got the ball, came out and like scored on the kick return.
Yep.
So we was down 3, and then that game kind of fell apart too. I don't think we gave up in that game. I just think after halftime it didn't really go how it was supposed to.
Right.
All right. So I was responsible with making part of the schedule. Mm-hmm. For the record, because I have it up here on Max Preps. CCC, Berkeley, Jesuit, Calvary. I have no control over.
Yeah.
Right.
I did not know Mitchell was going like 10-0.
Yeah, no,
that was a good. I actually don't even. I'm not even mad at you that you scheduled that game. That's a good scheduled game.
I was like Mitchell. Okay,
that's a good scheduled game.
Then Clearwater High, I thought was going to be good, and then what other game was there? I did not do Bishop Verrell. I was like, that's a bad idea with Bishop Verrell and CCC back to back. That's a terrible idea. And then Trinity Catholic. And then, for the record, because I'm defending myself here, I didn't know we were losing all those guys.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
So what you need to know about scheduling is you kind of start scheduling either years in advance or literally right when the football season ends. So in the state championships ends. So that's right around this week.
Right.
So you pretty much have your schedule done by February.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'm gonna be productive and I'm gonna have the schedule done by like January 1st, and I was like, I'm gonna be there. And then we were losing all these guys, and I was like, oh no. I didn't. I was like, I didn't.
And the schedule was made. Like
the schedule was pretty much made, and I was like,
Gotcha.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm sweating again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was
You did get you were going against like good teams though.
Yeah, I feel like it was. I didn't think it was a burden. Again, what he said, like I didn't think it was a burden on our team. I feel like we could have competed with those teams, and like it just happened to be everybody happened to be in the state championship, but went to the playoffs, third round. Like we can compete with those teams, and so when I seen the schedule, like I wasn't like we're gonna lose, we're gonna go like 0-9. Like no, I was like it's gonna be a competitive schedule. Let's see what happens. Let's rock out.
And what a lot of people don't remember is we lost that homecoming game to the Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a lot I hate shoulda, woulda, coulda's, but like.
No, the Hurricane ruined everything for like football, like schedule and volleyball.
Oh yeah.
If we get that homecoming game and we beat Calvary, number 4 and 6.
Yeah,
It's a fine.
Yeah,
would have had a place in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
There was like 3-4 games that should have went the other way, which that would have left us with around the same record as last year. Which, I mean, if we could do that, we lose all them guys, and that's a win.
Yeah.
Well, talking postseason, do you guys miss the season, or are you kind of enjoying the off season right now? Like you get a break.
Yeah, I'd say I missed the season.
Yeah, I say I missed it too. Because all the previous years, it was like after the season you enjoy it because like you got this time off before the season comes next, but for us it might not be the next season, so you kind of miss it. But yeah, I the first I say week after the season was over, I was missing it a lot. Like I was kind of mad about it, but like after like now I'm okay with it. Like obviously I would have wanted it to go a little different, but I'm okay with like how it went.
Yeah. I literally after the season I didn't know what to do with my life. I mean, I was I was so lost. Like I went home, I was like, I'm home at like 3:30. Like what's going on? Like I'm usually here till like 7.
Yeah.
And so it was just a different feeling. Like, and I was sad about it. I was sad how the season ended. Especially just because I was a senior, and and I always wanted. I had when I was at Sunday, we never went to the playoffs, and so when I had that first playoff game my junior year, it was just amazing. I had oh my gosh, it was amazing. And so, I wanted to come to the playoffs this year, and it didn't work out how it was, and I'm not mad at how it worked out. I'm so thankful for the season. Like I loved it, we had a great team, and we just couldn't get it done, and that's all right, And I'm just proud we had a great senior season. So
My senior year, so I played a couple sports. I wasn't here at Tampa Catholic. I played a couple sports. I broke my right foot.
gotcha.
I remember thinking, coming home every day at like 3:30, 4, how do non-athletes,
That's what I was thinking too.
what do they do
I don't know.
with their time? Like, let's say you genuinely do homework. Like, you're really studying, you're actually giving it your all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 hours? Max?
Maybe.
Maybe. I was in
Yeah.
high school, half an hour, like, all right, let me do what I have to do.
Yeah.
Also, I wasn't in any, like, AP courses. But, no, I come home at 3 and I'd be like, what am I doing every day? It's crazy.
Yeah,
I ended up becoming, like, a super fan. I started, like, going to, like, all the basketball and baseball
Right.
games.
Yeah.
I was just like, like, cheering people on. I just couldn't go home.
Yeah. No.
That's
That's
crazy.
That's what we agreed on. We like, hey, if the season's over, we're gonna go to every basketball game. We're gonna go to all the rivalry games for every other sport. So,
Yeah.
This is a question for later, but are you doing lacrosse?
oh, you know what's crazy?
We're still talking about it. I don't know.
You know what's crazy? It was me, Chuck, Cade, all the other seniors were like, I mean, we're gonna be bored. We're not gonna be doing anything. Let's
That's what
just play lacrosse,
Yeah.
right?
Who played it last year? It was just Eli?
No, a couple guys did it. I don't know if I remember exactly. I think
Eli. Eli.
If Eli can do it, you two can do it. Love you guys.
No, it's Eli.
I think the problem with a lot of the football players with lacrosse last year is that they thought I'm gonna do this for fun, but that
Yeah.
coach takes it just as seriously.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
he's
what we were saying.
West Point grad,
Oh,
works
really?
at McDill, was trying to build a lacrosse program that's going to be like one of the best in Florida, and that's why we hired him. So I think some of the football players were like, let's have some fun. And then it's like, no, we're going to treat this just as diligently. And they were
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it would be if we played it. Because like we are a lot of us probably playing it for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be. I just think he's.
Yeah, he's that, and I can't even. You can't be mad at that. He used to play lacrosse. He took it seriously. So I mean,
Like if a girl just like went out for the volleyball, was like, I'm just here for a good time.
like
Too.
no, you like she'd
No,
be
you-
offended. I hope she would.
I
I
would be
mean,
so offended.
Yeah,
So I was like,
no.
oh yeah, it's just fun for me. I'd be like, it's fun for me too, but like.
I want to go play in college.
Yeah.
Like I want to make something. Yeah, nah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Well, I know this is kind of new stuff, but how do you guys feel about the new roster limits in Division I football, and like how the teams are gonna do with walk-ons at Power 4 schools?
He was just talking about that. We were walking here.
That's Charlotte's
Because
question.
yeah, my brother, he's he was a walk-on. He played receiver at USF. So he just had a meeting with his coach like the other day talking about how like he gonna have to. I mean, he's been doing good, but he gonna have to really prove himself in order for them to keep him. Cause
Describe really fast I don't know, not into the camera, but
Yeah.
what is the rule?
well, I'm not sure the specific limit now, but USF, I would think they have like around like 130 guys, and
It's 105.
yeah, they're cutting it down to 105. So that's just less room for, walk-ons. That's less less room for preferred walk-ons too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna be harder to get a spot, harder to keep a spot, especially if you're trying to walk on somewhere. A lot of schools might not even have walk-on tryouts anymore because of, they already got their roster guys. So
Yeah, but it's also interesting because now all the kids on the team get scholarship. So.
All right, guys, down the home stretch here. So this last one's kind of fun. And then the last 5 will be actually just quick questions, all right?
Yeah.
So one of the things I find fascinating, not just at Tampa Catholic, but everywhere in high school and college sports, is a lot of, I'm going to phrase my words perfectly here, people who work at schools get annoyed about how much attention the football team gets or players get or something like that. Do you think any of these people realize how much work it goes into being a Tampa Catholic football player from the mornings? Like, you guys are starting your days at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I guess this isn't a fun question. It's fun to me because I'm like they'll be like, oh, and I'm being honest with you guys. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's not all about them. And I'm like, well, they're putting a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of defend you guys. Do you think even the average student, do you think they realize how much work it is? Do they comprehend this? Because they're just I'll stop talking. What do you think?
No, I think it's kind of hard to understand it if you haven't done it. Obviously, we say, oh, we've been working out since 6, and then we get home at 7, and it sounds hard, but it is harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
Because how we were talking about earlier, normal students would get home at 3.
You don't have summers off.
Yeah.
You don't have spring break off. You don't have. It's
Yeah.
And you're not. I mean, NIL is a thing now, but you're not getting paid. It just infuriates me when these certain people are blah blah blah. I'm like, do you understand what they're going through?
I think it's a really a stereotypical thing. It's just when I feel like teachers think all football players are snotty or just disrespectful or just and they think it's everybody. So I mean I think they base it off of that just in general. And then, they think we don't put a lot of effort in. I mean, it's a lot. Especially with Coach Gregory, it's a whole day thing. So, I think it's they don't really what he said, you have to do it to understand. I just think
so. They'll never understand.
I guess not. I guess not.
Take a friend, take a teacher to practice day.
Yeah, that's what you should honestly do. Is do one summer conditioning day.
See what they have.
Put them in pads.
Yeah, put them in pads and all that.
Whoa. All right. Now these are fun questions. Just you can argue me. I think the ultimate team game is baseball. Do you agree?
No.
Ultimate
team game.
Team sport. He thinks baseball.
I think baseball's over football.
I disagree too.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Why?
Baseball. What makes baseball?
That's what I
You
don't
put
understand.
Mike Trout on a team that's terrible. They're never gonna make the playoffs. You put Peyton Manning on any team in today's NFL. They're gonna make the playoffs.
But Peyton Manning is gonna make those guys better. There's nothing Mike Trout can really do to make a baseball player better.
So baseball's the ultimate team. You need the guys around you.
But
No.
I don't think
football
so.
is.
This is just for
because-
fun. This is like when I post on Instagram and I'm like, just for fun.
Oh yeah, you're
I'm gonna say football is.
I love those.
The top
Just for
30s,
fun.
just for fun.
Just for fun. Just for fun.
The people yell at me. I turn the
This is
comments
the
off.
first time you didn't put just for fun, and then everyone
Yeah,
got
people
mad.
are yelling at me. You disagree? You think football is?
What? Because
It's basically
that
that
was
the
the.
bullpen. You're starting pitching. You need
Yeah.
so much.
But I mean, that's less I feel like that's less a team sport and more you need guys.
You
Yeah.
need an individual.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say?
That's what I
football,
agree.
Football, you need a team. With baseball, you just need a lot of good players.
Isn't that a
I
team?
think
No.
I think football.
That's what we had last year. A lot of
Football,
great.
We had a lot of
players,
but that's the
not a
thing.
team.
That's a good point though. That's a good point what you just said. It's about working as a team,
Yeah.
together as a team, than just
Yeah.
having good players. You can have good players and not be good.
Like,
That.
Football,
you see what I'm trying to
basketball,
say?
and volleyball, you need each other to do good. You're
I
also
don't need you arguing with me. No, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. No, it's just a fun question. I just
Yeah.
think baseball is, but I can see your viewpoint.
Okay.
Okay, this one's kind of a random one. But who on the team is the last guy you would want to date your sister?
Good Lord.
Gage, you can answer this too. Because he's on.
Where do I start?
One guy.
One guy.
Where do I start?
Charlotte's question.
Anybody that plays offense, first of all, we'll start there. My answer will probably be man. I'll probably have to say I'll say Coleman. I'll say Coleman. He not
We'll go.
no.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go Manny. just off. Like, I love Manny to death, but I couldn't let him date my daughter. That's for sure.
Gage.
I'll go Lucas Ron.
Lucas is a great guy. Lucas is a stand-up guy.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Okay. So you did adjectives to describe, or like you described like your coach. What adjectives would you use to describe the team as a whole?
I wrote 3. Just give me like
Three, yes.
one each. 1, 2.
I'll say,
Like one word?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the word to use, but just like together, like we're a lot closer than we were last year.
Family.
Yeah, family.
I'd say relentless. You just
Okay.
Yeah.
Gage, you want anything? Our producer's on the football team.
Okay, and like overseeing your seasons at TC, what's your favorite football memory from all your time?
wow. That's a good question. Like out of all our football seasons?
Yeah. Well, sure.
Yeah.
Well, we want Tampa
Tampa Catholic.
Tampa
Okay, all
Catholic.
right. You know what? I'll do Tampa Catholic.
I'll say beating Robinson in the playoffs last year.
Okay.
There was no way we should have lost to them in the regular season.
I agree.
And then to beat them in the playoffs, because that was my first playoff win. I had been to the playoffs my first 2 years, but I never won, and then that was my first playoff win. But yeah, I say getting the get back on them.
Okay.
I'd say my favorite memory, I'd say, or feeling. I give it a feeling because I think it was a big feeling. Like when we first, I didn't know how. I'm gonna start off by saying this. I didn't know how crazy the rivalry was between TC and Jesuit, but I remember the first time stepping on that field. It was crazy. It was something.
Was it at Jesuit?
It was at Jesuit.
So last year.
Yeah. So last year, I haven't for me, I think I'm a happy and joyful person just in general. When I stepped on that field that day, I did not feel like that. I felt like I was locked in. I was angry, and I haven't played them ever in my life. I haven't played Jesuit ever.
That's intense.
Yeah, and it just felt like there was such an intense mood, and it was such a will to win.
Yeah, when we were in the locker room before the game, their like whole student section was standing right outside our locker room. Like, I ain't gonna say what they were saying, but like it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like we was all just in there like, man, like this.
So your best moment, just the environment.
The environment of that game was my favorite moment.
Is there a different type of hostility of the game on the road compared to home? Like, do you feel the same amount of?
Yeah, on the road I felt it was more like hostile. Like this year, I don't really feel like it was too much. Like
I feel like
yeah, no.
this year on the road, I felt
like they didn't even have like a student section.
Yeah, on the road we were good. I think because I feel like most of our teams we played were here. Like all the big teams we played were here, and so I didn't really feel any hostility when I went to another away game.
Last question. By the way, thank you guys for doing the podcast.
Thank you.
TC football going forward. Do you think, what's the outlook look like? If you guys were to predict the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, I think it's only up from here.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got a lot of young guys who, when they seniors, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be leading the team. Obviously, Coach Gray, he's building a culture here, so like, they'll be able to build like the seniors by the time the sophomores now. By the time they're seniors, they're gonna be able to tell everybody else what to do. Like, it won't even have to be Coach Gray. But yeah, I feel like it's only up from here. We already set the culture now, and then once we start getting some more guys, the wins gonna go up for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Agree with him. It's only up from here. I mean, this is like this is my first year with Coach Greg, and this is just the ground level. He hasn't even, again, what you were saying, he didn't even scrape the playbook. So I pray for the kids who are coming in because he has a lot of plans. So, but no, it's only up from here. I'm glad I got to experience it for 1 year, but I mean, I imagine you have him for 5, 6 years, 4 years the rest of your career. So I mean, we're hoping. I hope he is, but. I think it's only up from here, for real. And I think, we have a lot of young guys. We had a lot of young guys this year who stepped up and played well. Yeah. And so when you can see that and you see potential, it's only when they get older, again, what he said, when they get older, they're going to be good. So I think it's great.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Thanks, guys.